Good morning. It's Wendy. I just need to get something off my chest because it's just been kind of bugging me. So I'm going to start out with some history. I'm no brand new gardener. I've been gardening for years. My family gardened. I grew up around it, and I have always gardened for years. Unless I was living somewhere where I could not have a garden, but I love to garden. I've done this for many, many years. So, out of the garden. Go. Sorry. She's having an epic battle with the crows, the dog. So, first of all, um, I started this farm back when I married Tom in 2010. We started this garden. I was still working at the time, and I put in an entire food forest, orchard, brambles, you name it. We put it in. Then I retired from my business, and I decided that I would grow all this food. So I was going to do it for our family. I have a big family and lots of kids, well, kids and stuff. So I thought I would do that. Well, I invited some friends out, and they were like blown away. Like, oh my gosh. Because there was like probably, we have 10 acres. There was probably 4 acres worth of food growing. And word got out fast around town that I had this beautiful, monstrous garden. So I had people contacting me, and I started posting pictures on my personal Facebook, which had over 900 viewers at the time. And then I created later a farm Facebook, and I haven't even been able to get into my personal Facebook for the last couple years. And most of the people on there, people I've known my whole life, and I'm extremely nice. And I, I tell you, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to what I was saying. So I was growing a ton of food. I had the Department of Agriculture come out. I didn't. They came out, and then agritourism contacted me. I had farmers markets contacting me to come sell at their market. I had restaurants contacting me. I was growing a lot of food, and I was really successful at it. All natural, all organic, which I've always done, even before it was the thing. And I did this, and I was very successful. And then the wildfire happened in 2014, and I was pretty crushed. The big chunk of the farm burned, and I just didn't know what to do. So the next year, what does any gardener do? They dust themselves off and they try again. So I started gardening again. Well, I was having all kinds of issues. Number one, where the fire burned, I had stickers coming up, weeds coming up, trees, massive stickers. You couldn't even weed the vegetables because these massive sticker clumps were coming up. And it was overwhelming to me. And I remember crying and thinking, oh my gosh, how do I deal with this? So I had people that volunteered, and I would just trade them for food. They wanted to learn how to grow and garden, and they have been here with me, helping me, because the inside of this garden is one entire acre, and I could do it by myself. But then I started having issues after the wildfire, and I just didn't know what to do. So the people that volunteered come out, and they're like, wow, the farm is so different. Number one, it burned all the trees, not all of them. A big chunk of them back here. The inside of the garden burned because I did the Back to Eden garden. So I had all these wood chips down, and let me tell you, those burned. And the fire burned for a week here. My orchard, a big chunk of the orchard burned. And so I contacted arborists. I tried to figure out what was wrong. How do I go from here? Because this is new to me. I didn't know how to deal with it. It doesn't matter how many years you garden, you still face issues, you still have challenges, and you're not perfect. But the whole beauty of learning is you try. You pick yourself up and you try again. And that's what I did. And then I got bit by a tick. And I have suffered tremendously through, I don't know, all kinds of symptoms. Do I feel good? No. 90% of the time, I don't feel good. But do I smile and pick myself up and start my day? Yes, I do. And I try. And and I'm always nice to people. And anyway, the reason why I'm doing this live stream is that I had a very nasty comment sent to me, and it really pissed me off, to be honest. And as a Christian, I find that I need to cool off before I respond to somebody, if I even do, or to deal with it. But it just kind of set me off, and I don't ever want to do anything that would make anybody turn from God or say, "Oh my gosh," you know, I would never want to do that. So instead of acting in anger, I have to cool off. I have to think about it. But what gives somebody the right to go off on somebody who's been through so much that keeps trying? And I'll be honest, I don't know how to deal with these challenges that have occurred since the wildfire. I work with Oklahoma State University. I've gone to plant pathology. I've gone to my county extension. I've talked to arborists. I have talked to people at the garden centers. I mean, I don't know how to deal with some of the issues that have arose since the wildfire, and it destroys the ecosystem. So I thought I would put in raised beds for two reasons. Number one, I wouldn't have to farm on the ground. And number two, I wouldn't have to fight the Bermuda grass that seems to just take over a row within like 2 or 3 days. It's pretty invasive, and I haven't been able to get rid of it. I've never gardened like this in this garden before until I married Tom. I've normally gardened in a big square, and he built the garden so that I could drive the zero turn down the rows, and then I wouldn't have to, you know. And then the way that the farm was sloped, he said it wouldn't flood as bad because we had a few floods where the whole one whole big section of the garden got washed out. And especially since the fire, we still deal with land erosion. We've lost a lot of our land, but I still try. And it just, I don't know. I posted on my Facebook group that I felt heartbroken that I endured another year of failure on providing for my weekly food co-ops. And somebody chimed in on sent me a personal private message, really just basically trashing me. And I won't say who they are. They're still in my Facebook group called From My Farm to Your Table. And they're still on my friends list for now. I haven't decided what I want to do, but I'm not going to respond because I know that I'm going to be like, what the heck? And I don't I don't like that. I don't really normally have to deal with nastiness, and so it's just the world's just too full of it. So anyway, it just states, Wendy, why can't you admit that your theories are wrong? Have you ever made just one box to be sold? I've watched your tomato crop for the last 8 years, and you can't feed yourself, much less the city of Guthrie. No matter what happens, it's always not your fault, but you are just a victim. We all face the same problems, but when we fail, we try something else. You seem like a sweet person with a lot of bad advice. The one thing you excel at is making up excuses. Sorry to tell you it, but it's plain to see for the rest of us when things aren't going right, you change something. Well, wow, I mean, come on. What gives him the right to attack me? I've been very transparent and clear that I don't know what to do with the issues that I'm facing. I've been very transparent about that. And I admit I don't know how to handle it. But to have somebody be that rude, oh my gosh, I mean, I'll be honest, it hurt me. And I think, why would somebody attack me for wanting to grow food? I've never ever gone to anybody's page and attacked them. I've never been mean. I mean, it's just, but we did try to do some stuff. Is that making an excuse? An excuse would be, oh, I don't feel like doing it. And there are days I really don't feel like doing it. Do I get out there and try? Yeah, I do. And it just sincerely pissed me off. I mean, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And I hear other people say the same thing, and it's like, wow, you know, I don't know. I try, and do I fail? Yeah, there are failures in gardening, but let me tell you what, in that long list of failures is success down the road. How do you ever learn anything if you don't try? Do you just quit and give up your dream? No. Why would I do that? This has been my dream since I was a little girl. I carried around a book. I followed my grandmother and mother around. We picked fruit. We harvested. We did all sorts of stuff: gardening, canning, growing, jelly making, jam making, pickles, relishes. I mean, I grew up doing this stuff. I loved it. When I got grown and had to buy out of a store, I was like, ew. I had so much, I had so much ugh, distaste for it. I had to have a garden. And I'm in my 50s. I'm 53 years old. I've gardened my entire life, other than a few times when we were in the process of moving or in an apartment. And I still tried to garden a little bit. And I don't know. It just, I have grown stuff in the past 8 years that he has followed me. And yes, I've had food boxes. And my tomato crops, last year I had a really amazing tomato crop. This year, not so much. But I'm in Oklahoma Gardening Group, and I see a lot of people struggling. Wonder if he watches them too. Wonder if they got a nasty message from him. But anyway, I don't know. If you can't say something nice, then why bother talking? I mean, why do you have to hurt somebody who's just trying to live her dream and grow food? It's not like, if it's such a bad thing, why the heck does he follow me anyway? Why does he even bother? If I'm so horrible for 8 years, why does he even bother? I just, it's been bugging me, and you know, I'm not somebody that makes excuses. I try new things. I've tried a lot of stuff. I've asked for help. I don't see how that's a bad thing. But anyway, oh, people, it just amazes me when you're struggling and you have somebody viciously attack you. I mean, I just don't know if I want him in my farm group, and I don't know if I want him as a friend. And he's local. And I was pretty much warned he was cantankerous, but for all these years he had never been mean till recently. So anyway, I'm sorry I just had to vent. It just seriously pissed me off. And right, welcome everybody in. I'm sorry if I didn't say hi. I'll be honest. It's just, I don't know why people are so mean, and it's just like, it was really bothering me, and I just had to get it off my chest. I'm sorry. I I've had more than enough failures in this gardening, and it's been real hard on me because I've invested so much money and time. And when I didn't feel good, I got out here and I tried. I just tried. I'm sorry. Anyway, I just think I should just delete him off my page and out of my Facebook group and try not to let that bother me and keep going on. Yeah, I've seen so much nastiness. It's just, I don't understand it. I don't understand why people are so angry. Why are they so mean? You know, why would you kick somebody when somebody's down? You know, I don't, I don't quite understand. But I guess it just sometimes feels good to talk about it. Well, and I am getting through it. I mean, I've researched a lot of stuff. It's not like I know what to do with all this. And I'm older. Yeah, I have injuries, and I'm very transparent about those injuries and not feeling good and dealing with the tick issues. I mean, I never know when I'm going to have a flare up. I never know when I'm going to have those headaches where I can't even get out of bed. I have arthritis. I've had, plus, I have injuries. I've been in some car accidents, and it's been a tough year in the garden for everybody. We're in the middle of a stupid pandemic, and the best thing to do is be out there and gardening. But uh, just to have somebody just kick you down is like, seriously? I mean, what better time to grow food? I've got friends that have followed me all through this journey. I've had friends that have come out here. We've come a long way since the wildfire. And I've been asked to do some videos before the fire. And, this isn't my first time on YouTube either. I had a channel before. I had people that followed me. I didn't do it for money because back then I didn't even know such thing. I don't do anything for money. I do everything out of, well, of course the farm is so I could have an income so I could pay off my debt that I have. I have student loan debt from trying to get a nursing degree after a divorce. I'm remarried now. And then I have still owe my divorce attorney $10,000. So I wanted to get that debt paid off. I have injuries where I can't have a regular job. And so selling the produce was something I thought I would do. It has its challenges when you do that. Hey Deb, welcome in. I'm kind of having a kind of a rough day. Had somebody attack me and I'm venting about it. But I'm human, and I have feelings. And normally I brush things off, but it just really kind of hit me hard, and I don't like it. I'm not in Dakota. We have family in South Dakota. That is so cool. There are, we have family in South Dakota, and then there's another channel in South Dakota I'm going to visit. But anyway, I that's why we're putting in the geothermal greenhouse, is because I don't know how to deal with these ecosystem issues. And I don't see how that's making excuses because it's out of my hands. Exactly. And I do pray for them. Do I forgive them? Yes. I talked to God about this, and I said I forgive them. Am I still hurt? Am I still angry? Yeah, I'm pissed. I mean, it just kind of just stabs you when you're working so hard and you're just trying, you know? And like I said before, when you have success, it's because there's a long line of failures behind you that got you there. I mean, Anyway, it's like I'm trying new stuff. And do I want to continue to grow food? Yeah. I have a Facebook group called From My Farm to Your Table, and I have a lot of people in there that would love to buy the weekly food boxes because I used to do that. And they loved it. It was like each week they got a box of whatever I had available, from fruit to jellies to sun dried tomatoes to everything. Yeah, right. I do take a B12, but not methyl, just a regular B12. Hey, Brenda Baker. Welcome in, everybody. It's just, I just wanted to talk about it. I guess a lot of people have had people come on their channel or their pages and attack them. And I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand why somebody could be so rude and mean. Well, it hurt me. He got what he wanted. He pushed my buttons, and I mean, I just cried. And my husband, my sweet, precious husband, I have the best husband. I've been so blessed this go around. He hugged me and he said, "Don't let that person bother you. You already were told that he was that way. You already know he's hateful. Just delete him and move on. Continue what you're doing," because he said there's a lot of people that love you. There's a lot of people that stand behind me, and there's a lot of friends and support. I mean, right. Yeah, Deb, this is what somebody sent me on a messenger, on my Facebook, that's in my Facebook called From Farm to Your Table. And, since the wildfire, I've had lots of trouble growing food here. And before the fire, I could grow enough food to feed the whole town of Guthrie. And that's not a lie. The Department of Agriculture was out here. Yeah, I know this person. They're local. And they even bought tomato plants from me last year. So, uh, I had to cool off a few days and just try not to respond, because if I respond in anger, it's not going to be pretty. And I just don't want to do anything that would hinder my relationship with God or humiliate God or cause that person not to see God through me. So I was trying to take the high road, but it just really stabbed me in the heart. I'll be honest. So here's the message that was sent to me. It said, "Wendy, why can't you admit your theories are wrong? Have you ever made just one box to be sold? I've watched your tomato crop for the last 8 years, and you can't feed yourself, much less the city of Guthrie. No matter what happens, it's always not your fault. You're just a victim. We all face the same problems, but when we fail, we try something else. You seem like a sweet person with a lot of bad advice. The one thing you excel at is making up excuses. Sorry to tell you, but it's plain to see for the rest of us, when things aren't going right, change something." Yeah, yeah, I was like, wow. Because it's exactly what I've been doing, is trying to figure something else out. Hey, sweetie, I haven't seen you in so long. You changed your channel name, Keto Girl. And a few of you I've tried to find, and when you go to do the searches, you can't find a lot of the channels that you follow. I don't get the Facebook issues. I really don't. But yeah, that was what was sent to me. And I have grown food. I mean, you can look at my videos from last year. It just ticked me off. Tomatoes are my favorite thing to grow, and yes, I probably grow way too many tomatoes, too many different varieties, but that's my business. And I have a lot of people that want tomatoes. So what the heck? Right. Yeah, I gave it to God, but it just feels good to kind of talk about it. And I know a lot of you have gone through hateful things, and I've seen other people address it and they feel better afterwards. So I thought I would do the same thing because I was trying to deal with it, honestly. And there's not enough coffee today. I'm going to have to go into town. I hardly even go into town anymore. I just stay out here. And to me, it's evident when you go places, people are hateful, they're rude, and it's just a negative atmosphere anymore, and I don't like it. Welcome in, everybody. I'm just kind of venting about some nastiness, but I'm in the garden now, and I've come a long way since that wildfire. And then this last year, oh, there's a hummingbird. Oh, how cool! You can see him. I hope you caught the hummingbird. There's a feeder right there, and there's big bumblebees flying around me in the garden. But anyway, there's some of the garden. Here's some of the garden. Have I had a lot of failures since the wildfire? Oh, yeah. But how do you learn if you don't ask for help and try new things? I have tried new things. I have tried solarizing. I've tried digging out the Bermuda grass. I've tried all sorts of things. That's why I decided to go the route of the geothermal greenhouse and the raised beds. Because the raised beds not only will help me not have to get on the ground, but I can grow and not have to deal with the massive Bermuda grass going through everything. Anyway, how many of you guys have had nasty stuff said to you, and how do you handle it? I mean, most of the time, I normally don't have that. It's just new to me to have somebody be mean. Could be, I have no idea, but it just really pissed me off. And I had to take a few days. Exactly. Exactly. But words cut like a sharp knife, and they can never be taken back. And you don't know how hard I've struggled with the failures in this garden. I mean, it has just been a long road. We're talking 7 years since the wildfire, and I'm trying to replace the orchard. I still haven't even replaced my grapes yet. You're too old to be a. Oh, I love you guys. I knew you guys would make me feel better. I couldn't sleep last night because it was bugging me. It's like I just not used to being attacked like that. You can ask anybody. Most of the people on my Facebook have known me my entire life. I'm 53. They know I am not mean. Nice. And once I'm a friend for life. Unless somebody does something mean, then I just go away. I'm not friends with them anymore. And most of the time, that's pretty rare. I still have friends I've had my whole entire life. But anyway, it's just, I don't know why I let it bother me so much, but I had made a post in my group, and I was kind of just saying, because I keep having people ask me, when is stuff going to be ready? And I'm like, I'm getting a really late start. Number one, we did have flooding. Number two, I still had a monster mess to clean up in the garden from the ice storm. Is that excuses? No, it's a freaking fact. Right? I I I think he needs to know that it was out of line, but right. Oh. Yeah, life is just extremely hard right now. Exactly. Exactly, Robert. I just need to move on because I've honestly got in the Oklahoma gardening group and I've seen tons of people dealing with the same issues. There's a massive amount of pests this year. There's locusts, grasshoppers, two kinds of worms, Japanese beetles, tons of flies, mosquitoes this year, and I hardly have any bumblebees. And there are tons of pests, those black blister bugs, stink bugs, and I had got stung yesterday putting the elderberries in the dehydrator by what do you call those, the bugs? They love the elderberries. So if you want to sassafras, elderberries. And my elderberries were late this year, and I haven't grown in the first 4 rows in probably, I'd say 5 years exactly, because it was 2 years after the grew, and I just couldn't deal with the weeds and the stickers. And so I laid those rows for all that time. Although I can't even talk. And then this year we dug out quite a bit and thought we would grow there. Nope. I'm still dealing with the same issues. And plus, those 4 rows haven't had nutrients and natural nutrients. I don't use chemicals. So I'm missing a bunch of. No, I agree, but I don't think he's worth we're talking about or talking to or addressing him. Hey, Brenda, you take care. No, I so understand. Mine is resting. We've been working so hard. Yeah, you've been dealing with some crazy weather in Oregon. I've been following that because I have another friend on YouTube, uh, the Tinker's wife. She's in Oregon. I think she's in Portland. You take care, Brenda. You guys have a good day. And I know once my husband gets up, we worked on the greenhouse till a little bit after dark, and then we worked in the shop a minute, and then we were both so tired in the heat, and so we went in. And as soon as I sat down, I was in Joy's live stream. I mean, probably the last 5 minutes, I fell asleep. I just, as the minute I sit down, I'm out. The keto girl, hey, I haven't been able to get to your channel. I have tried to search for you. I've tried to search for oh, what is her name? Candy. You know who I'm talking about. And then I've the only one I've been able to find is Brother Herb, and then nobody else. Oh, wait a minute. I did find April because I'm friends with her on Instagram. And then there was one other person, foodie squad girl, Nikki. I was able to go to her channel, but the rest of them I can't. And yours, I couldn't search. I tried. Oh, yeah, but still, I mean, I know that Candy and them are still loading, aren't they? I, what is the name of her channel? Oh, I forgot it. It's Brother Herb's wife, right, Misha Lee? I should, and I actually thought about it. Oh, Shannon, did you put a new video up? I was caught up to last night, and then we were working on the greenhouse. I need to see that, and I'll watch it. And I know I'm really busy right now. We not only did we start to build our house, we also built our shop. We're both working up after that farm. We have 10 acres. We still have 3 more acres of ice storm damage to clean up. I'm I'm trying to read the comments. The sun keeps shining on the thing. Awesome. Check that out. Journey along with girl. You calm down. Yeah. No, I don't attack people. Anybody me, I don't attack people. That's why I have to cool off. If I addressed it when I first got it, Lord, he'd a hurtful. Yeah. Oh. So I'm gonna have to watch your video. Did you post a new video today, Shannon? Because I didn't see a message, a notification yet, and I know I get notifications from you. I checked just a little bit ago before I went on. I didn't see it, so that's not saying it's not there. Yeah, Robert, things are changing. I mean, I'm old school, and I mean, for the people, probably in Oklahoma, people are good. They're nice, they're sweet, they're not mean and mean, but here lately, that just seems to stay on the farm. I'm not kidding. I hardly go to town. That's why I'm behind on uploading videos. Okay, I will watch that. You know I will. Um, so a lot of the times when I'm out working, I I can't get the internet too far. Like right about this tree right here, in the far as I can go with the internet. We have terrible internet. We have terrible cell service. I know because somebody that I've been friends with on YouTube from the get go, he's a really good friend, and he hadn't been posting in a while, but we're friends. And he called and we got to talk, and it was just what I needed because I had just got that message, and I was in my kitchen and I was crying, and Tom went ahead and went out and he was working, and I was like, God, why are people so mean? I can't stand people that are mean. It's just so wrong. And I was torn up, and I said, is there any hope left in this world? I mean, I really was pretty down. And then I got that call, and it was just what I needed. We talked for a couple hours, to be honest. And my husband just let me talk. We had a lot to do, but I got to talk, and we talked about just what's going on in the world, and just kind of, and just how the most important thing we talked about was our gardens and grown food, and you know how important that is. Yeah, Satan's pretty busy, I can tell you that, but he's not welcome here. He's not welcome in my life. His work need to go. Lead the truth. It's my dream. I mean, ever since I have talked about berries in the orchard, and like my grandma had, but even more. Kids have grown up on homemade jellies and jams and salsas and stuff. Matter of fact, when they come home, the first thing they ask for is homemade bread from the garden. That's what they want. Robert, I agree, and that's why I've not responded. I haven't deleted them, but in my heart of hearts, and for my well-being, say one more nasty thing. This is actually time, rude, but the comment on my page he left was pretty rude, and I don't like that. And a few people have sent me private his attitude and his negativity and his nastiness. So I'm really thinking he just needs to get off the Facebook group and Facebook because I don't like that. It was so good to see you again. Hey, Keto, if you could send me a private message so I can keep in touch, like, you know, check out your channel every now and then at least so I can keep in touch with you. I've wondered how you were doing and stuff. Miss talking to you. So if you can do that, or Instagram, Facebook, I'm on there. You have a blessed day, sweetie. I miss talking to you. She is so sweet. Thank you. Yay. See, God answers prayers. He kind of puts people in your path that you need to have in your life. And one of the things I've learned is YouTube, the family I've made on YouTube. So far, I've not had anybody be mean to me on YouTube. Not, no. I think just one negative comment. It was on that one video about asking for directions and the ordeal I went through, but you're going to get those funny comments. Hey, Joy. I know this light shining, the sun. I have to move a lot in the garden because the sun keeps moving and then it blocks out. I'm drinking out of my coffee mug and got my El Canarum sticker. Yeah, Joy, I watched you last night in your live. I caught it, and I was making dinner, and then I sat down, ate dinner, got full, got wrapped up in a blanket, and crashed. I didn't get to say goodbye. That's what I do, working out in this heat, and it kind of just sucks the life out of me. It was hot yesterday, but my YouTube family's been amazing. You're right. I need to. I guess it just felt better to vent and to see how other people would handle it too. I mean, there's just always going to be somebody that attacks you and drags you down, but my garden is my passion. I've put my heart into this garden and a lot of money, and I guess it just rubbed me the wrong way. And it hurt. I'll be honest, it really did. And I know what the Bible says about hurtful words. They cut like a knife and they can't be taken back. And it states that the power of life is in the tongue. So that was so pretty. I like that water in the where the water was shooting up in the colors. I had to have the sound down because I was in the kitchen cooking, and Tom had the TV up and he was watching the something we always do is we watch the weather, and then he was watching something funny. He likes the Storage Wars. He was watching that. Hey Peanut, welcome. Hey, you're welcome in here anytime. It was just kind of an impromptu again, venting about some hatefulness and just removing toxic people from your life. But if you Peanut grows some hot peppers, boy howdy. Everybody in here does some neat stuff, and I'm so thankful for everybody's friendships. And Michael's Adventures. I didn't say hi. I'm sorry. I when I first got on, I just wanted to explain why I was talking about this and just needed to get it off my chest. That's funny. Yeah, I I really try not to handle things, especially in the heat of when I'm mad, because I would really react wrong, and that then I would have to repent and be sorry for what I said, and I have enough in life that I have to be accountable for. So why add any ugliness to the factor? And then you feed into what they're wanting anyway. Oh, sweet. I have pickles. I mean, I have peppers I need to pickle, but they're just jalapenos. So sweet. So, Misha Lee, I am like up to my eyeballs in elderberries. Oh my gosh. Elderberries, elderberries. I worked on them this morning. The more I was working on them, the more I was letting that comment bother me. And I was like, I need to vent. I just need to take a shower, get dressed, go outside, and vent. It is. I was kind of warned by a few friends that that's just the way he is. But he's never been mean to me before. He's been a little snooty to a few people on my Facebook and my Facebook group. Sorry, airplane. Can't help that. Don't have to worry about traffic or any of that. Just airplanes. But anyway, I was just I don't know why I let it bother me. But I think they just need to go. I just need to just delete and block and good riddance, because it's kind of been building up. He'll Yeah, he's one of those people that instigates and stirs the pot and then doesn't back down. And he's never been hateful to me, but I thought that he sent that to me in a private message, and that's when it hurt, you know, because most of the time I had posted in my Facebook group because people were asking when the food co-ops were going to be ready, and I said, I don't know. I mean, I hardly have anything growing, and I feel like such a failure, and I'm so sorry. And then that's what I got. 5 pounds. Wow. Whew. Man, some of them hot peppers, your fingers burn. Right, Dan? I mean, I'm never mean. Not one person can ever say that I have gone on their page or their YouTube channel or anywhere and been mean or said anything rude. Yeah, I'm human. And that's what Jesus said. Words cut to the bone. They do. I can't remember what scripture. Why is it when you want to remember a scripture, you can't? My mom and I had this conversation yesterday. And my mom said immediately, just delete them and block them. Good riddance. I think so. You got to be miserable, because if you're happy, how would you spew out nastiness? The hummingbirds are, do you hear them? They're like flying over my head and by me. I don't know if you can see them. Maybe that's God's way of cheering me up. Sorry I cried. I mean, yeah, I shouldn't let things bother me, but it did. Yeah, they definitely do, but I'm not gonna be one. I'm gonna just and delete them and block them because it's just not fair. In Facebook, I've only had to delete and block 3 people, and I've been on since 2000 and maybe 2007, somewhere on my personal Facebook, which I can't get into. It says my account is, what did it say? My account's blocked. I don't know why. I don't ever. That was a couple years ago. I haven't been able to get into it. Yeah, Shannon, you guys go eat and enjoy your day together. Tell Roger I said hi. You guys enjoy your day. Thanks for coming in and listening to me cry. Are them humming? Can y'all see those? Well, normally people are nice, you know? Oh, wow. Do y'all see that? The hummingbirds are like right over my head. Right. But I mean, at least I'm trying. I didn't just throw in the towel and give up. I mean, isn't that what learning's all about? Like I said earlier, the road to success is through a whole line of failures behind you. I mean, why kick a girl when she's down instead of saying, you know, goodness gracious. So I ran it by a couple really good friends, and they were like, whoa. I mean, the one thing I like about you, Wendy, is you keep trying, you persevere, and each season your garden gets better and better. So, yes, God's word, living and full of power. It's more sharp than any sword that cuts both ways. Exactly. Proverbs. I knew it had to be in Proverbs. Yep, they do. They do, and they can't be taken back. They've proven it. It's worse than being beaten, because if you get beaten, your wounds can heal. Words can never be taken back. They cut to them. Yeah, but it just kind of, I don't know. Most of the time, everybody, like on my personal Facebook, I don't remember how many people are on there now. It was over 900. And then the farm Facebook, I had probably 700 or 800. And then all of a sudden, I can't get in for the last 2 years, can't get into the personal Facebook, but my farm Facebook, I have a lot of people on there. And I normally have good people are nice. I only had one girl that was able to be on my page, and we were having earthquakes back, and I missed one of the big earthquakes here in Guthrie. And when I pulled into town, one of my friends, Tiffany, and her husband ran out of the building. She goes, "Did you feel that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I was driving into town, but all these people were running out of the historic buildings, and they were like, wow." And I was like, I missed it. And then just said, "Oh, bull! I was in town. There wasn't no earthquake." And I was like, "What the heck?" She just kept attacking me and attacking me, attacking my friends. And I have really good friends. My friends back me to the bone. They are like, "No, you did not just attack her." So they were like, "It's registered. There was an earthquake." And she argued with them, and she kept bullying them. And I was telling my husband about it, and he goes, "Block them." And I was like, "Well, I didn't want to do that. And he's like, "Block them, block them." I do. I have a farm Facebook, my Facebook page for the farm, and then I have a personal Facebook page, which my account's suspended for some reason. I don't know what's going on. I haven't done anything. It's been that way for a couple years, so it's not. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was hacked or what the deal is. I've heard of that happening, and then whoever hacks you, they get your book. So, but exactly, Robert. I mean, part of the reason I started the farm Facebook was to keep it separate from my personal, so people could ask questions. And I've had I've taught a lot of people to grow food. I mean, a lot of people. I've had a few friends come out here and I've taught them how to make jellies and jams, and I've taught a lot of people how to garden. And I've always been given advice. And if I don't know, I tell them, try the county extension. But I've shared what's worked on my farm, and then I've been sharing all along what's been going on with the wildfire. This town of Guthrie has really supported me. The people here, when the fire happened, I while it was going on and we were being evacuated, I had a ton of people offering their homes for us to come stay. Do you need dinner? Do you need anything? I mean, and I all I could do was cry. I was just in shock because our farm was burning, and I thought, well, there went my dream. But this town, all these people were like, Wendy, you and Tom can come here. And I'm like, yeah, but we got all these pets. And, but that's just love. That's just how this town is. They call it the Oklahoma Standard. And this small town is even beyond that. The people are good. And people bringing dinner. I had Red Cross brought dinner one time. And then, had all these people sending me notes and letters of encouragement and whatever I need. I had people buying me some fruit trees. I mean, isn't that sweet? Now that we're dealing with the pandemic and can't get out that much and can't get good internet out here, I've had so many businesses in town offer me to come their high speed internet so I could upload to YouTube. I mean, these are businesses. They have offered to let me come there so that they can help me. That's how people are. Prayer requests. I have Eller Daniels. Oh gosh. Zelda hun. One of my friends from high school has that. I believe is in a support group for that. It's kind of a mystery. Um I don't have a lot of information about it, but she talks about it and she has the same issues as you're talking about. She's actually on my farm Facebook and she talks about it all the time. Okay, Misha Lee, it's so good to have you in here. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Hey, how are you doing, J Love? Hey, you changed your name from J Love Adventures to J Love Gardens. I like that. How's your garden this year? Trust me, I won't attack you. I'm being funny because I had somebody attack me pretty rudely about my failures. Oh, yeah, it does. And that's another thing. I mean, I'm dealing with health issues. Not only am I disabled, but I'm dealing with rickettsia rickettsii from Rocky Mountain. And the flare ups, there's many days, and my good friends know, I can't get out of bed. There's many days I stay in bed. And sometimes it's 2 days, 3 days, and then I'm back up for a while, and then it hits me, and I'm down again. So, it makes it harder to garden there too. Is that an excuse? No, it's freaking reality. I don't know how to deal with that either, but I try. Okay, I'm gonna copy that. Uh, I'm gonna take a picture, and that way I can share that with her. I'm trying not to get a glare, and I will subscribe to your YouTube channel too. I will tell her about that because she has posted many times about her pain and her ups and downs in her life. I mean, ooh, mess of overgrown food. The hummingbirds. That is so. But at least you have a mess of overgrown food. That's a good problem to have. So I had posted in my Facebook group my disappointment for no cherry tomatoes, and I got attacked viciously in a private message, and it just kind of set me off. And I have lots of tomatoes growing, and I have some tomatoes, but none of the none of them are really turning red. I've had a few cherry tomatoes and a few paste tomatoes, but the beefsteaks haven't changed, and none of the other ones have either. And the cherry tomatoes are like not doing much of nothing. Oh, that's so awesome. See, thank you, Colleen, for praying for her. Yeah, from what I know from my friend, that is horrible. But giving it to God is the best thing. After my car accidents, I didn't do the pain meds. And believe it or not, your body can build a tolerance to pain, and then you can handle it naturally. I just gave that advice to somebody else. That is funny. I needed to hear it right back. It is their issue. Yes, I will always keep gardening. I always will. I mean, I don't want to stop. So I was telling my friend, the day I can't garden, you might as well bury me because I won't be happy. Let me tell you something that's kind of funny. Well, it's not really funny, but I mean, so growing up, my grandmother, they had a homestead, and she had blackberries and cherries and apricots and apples and all sorts of fruit in an acre garden. And so I grew up helping them, learning all that. And then my dad was Italian, so I learned cooking from him. And my mom could cook too. My grandparents cooked on both sides. So we had Italian, Irish, country. So I have the worlds growing up. And then come to find out later in life, well, I knew I was adopted, but I met my biological family in the 90s. And guess what? This will blow your mind. My grandmother, the biological grandmother, I never got to meet her. She was a florist. She had greenhouses and gardened. Now, my biological mother gardens and loves it. So it's just in my DNA. And a little bit of other history, my dad had a flower shop, and my uncle had a flower shop. And I worked for them back in junior high and high school, and then right after getting out of high school. And in 80, I think I stopped in 87. Then I got married in 86 and moved to um, Missouri because the ex was in the Air Force. And then I moonlighted for flower shops all these years up until this last car accident. And then I just can't. Well, anyway, I have this background of gardening, growing food, florist, all that. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, music and God can really get you through things. And I did. I was listening to the Word of God yesterday instead of YouTube. Sorry, but I needed it. Um, I needed a little bit of that while I was cooking. Sorry, I had a frog in my throat. Allergy time. And so I was like, I needed it. And it was just stuff that I needed to look up and just to try to find comfort through all the storm. And then I talked to my mama, who we grounded. Yep, you're right. And it just helped knowing, because in my heart of hearts, I just knew that that person just had to go. They just had to go. Oh, cool. I'm gonna write that or take a picture, because I'm out here in the garden. I don't have anything to write it down with. I'll get that Zelda if I can. The lights. There we go. Yeah, I will search for that. So everybody that has gardens, tell me what all you got growing and how's that going this year. I mean, I am seriously behind on watching videos on YouTube, as we do have a lot going on here, and I am trying on this garden and the greenhouse and all that. Oh, you're not a weirdo, girl. You're normal. The best thing you can do is garden, to me. I don't know about you, but when I grew up eating the good food, we never ate out. My dad cooked, and we always had the fresh food. When I moved away and had to eat store bought food, I was like, ugh, it was so gross. I don't like store bought foods. And to me, when you go to buy fruit and stuff, I don't care where you get it from, it's not fresh. Aw, Deb. But you got a lot more rain this year too, didn't you, Deb? You've had to deal with a lot of rain. So have we. We've just dealt with October was the ice storm, and I kind of showed all the damage to the farm, the garden. Well, that takes a long time to clean up. Then we got a lot of rain in May, abnormally cool weather. We had really late freezes, and I guess I'm making excuses. Now I'm going to be a smart aleck. But I'm able to grow tomatoes. They're just not ripe yet. And finally, cucumbers. See, I'm in the garden now. Eggplants, peppers, herbs. I mean, there's still like a whole bunch of trays back there. There's melons growing. I still have trays back there of stuff we didn't even get planted. I never even got squash planted this year. Yeah, the squash bugs are horrible. I think they're starting to attack my melons. I've got eggplants. I got green beans. Got a fall crop of green beans. I ate green beans yesterday. They were so good. So I saute them with uh, garlic powder and a fresh squeezed lemon. You talk about good. And then I never got my watermelon planted. It's still in a seed tray. But with that geothermal greenhouse, I think that will just be a game changer, because you can grow everything in there year round. So yours aren't ripe yet either. I didn't even get beans planted, just green beans. But I did get a really late start. And then I didn't want to deal with the Bermuda grass, so I tried to build all those pallet raised beds, and I made a mistake with those. Number one, the Bermuda grass here has been on steroids. Matter of fact, let me show y'all so you know what I'm dealing with. You see how it just infiltrates and it grows. And look how deep we dug that out. Same thing here. That's with every row in the front. And that's the first time I've grown in those first rows since I know it's been 6 years ago. So, yeah, everybody had a late frost. And I'm normally one that plants real early. I lost a bunch of stuff in the greenhouse because of that epic ice storm and the epic Arctic temps. Yeah, Deb, you're lucky. You can grow like year round there. We have family in Florida, and then I have a really good friend in Naples, Florida. I so want to go see her. There's just no time. And the hummingbirds. This is kind of cool. Let me see. Let me see if I can capture it. You see the bumblebee? Isn't that cool? I'm seeing bumblebees, but I lost my honeybees that were given to me by Okie Rob. And I joined a local bee club, but I brought them in to help pollinate my food because I hadn't seen the bees, just the big bumblebees. But then last year was one of my best seasons since the wildfire. I had all kinds of food growing, and I have the videos from last year. Yeah, she's in a really good growing season. Not season, growing zone. Yeah, I didn't get much sleep last night. I fell asleep early, but I woke up and then I just tossed and turned and got up, laid back down, got up, laid back down. And I was just like, the last time I was like, forget it. Ooh, wow. Ooh, I don't like tornadoes. We deal with those normally in Oklahoma, but I don't even think they had one, maybe one tornado this year. That's not normal. Normally we're in that tornado alley. My kids and I rode out that May 3rd. I didn't like it. It was rough. I leaned up against something itchy. That is cool. I didn't get corn planted. There was so much I didn't get planted. I mean, that's just how it goes. All I really have growing this year, I've got tons of elderberries. I spent the good chunk of the morning doing elderberries. And then I've got cucumbers finally. I've got tomatoes, but not turning yet. Yeah, that is rare. You're up by Sherry and Daryl. Lucky. I want to see Sherry so bad. I got sweet peppers, but I've only harvested like two um, banana peppers. No other sweet peppers. And I've harvested cayenne and jalapenos. That's it. Eggplants, herbs. Let me think, is there anything else that I got planted? Oh, I did have kale, but the worms got that. And I do have green beans again, second go around. I did plant, oh, I've got okra, but it hasn't produced yet. And I planted a fall crop of okra too. And I got leeks and asparagus. We did have a good crop of asparagus. And the biggest blessing of all this year, no threat of wildfires. Yes, God's good. I know. I know. I've been praying for her. She is just one of the most precious people. Oh, fires are nasty. They, I feel sorry for California, Wyoming, Oregon, all those places because, oh, I have another friend in Oregon too, Karen. It ruins the ecosystem. It does. It takes years. And wherever that fire burns, it reemerges all the seeds that were in the earth, and then you have just chaos. And then it messes up the wildlife and the bugs. It And then another thing, when you take out a bunch of trees, it also destroys the ecosystem. So we had a whole bunch of the big trees and a whole lot of trees around us gone, just burn up. So now the farm's hotter and we have airflow through here and it's sunnier. So I wished I could do this live stream in the back of the garden so I could show you guys. I'm farming pretty much under the big oak trees because there's more shade. Everywhere where there's trees with a lot of shades, a lot of the chunk of where I'm gardening because it's so hot here. Yep, I agree, Robert. It's weird. I don't know what to think of it. Kind of makes you wonder if we're not seeing the beginning of Revelations. Ooh, wow. Because you're in a good growing zone too, Kath. Oh my gosh, that is weird. But Kathleen, something I did learn about from the arborist when dealing with the trees, sometimes if it's too hot and too dry, your leaves will fall too. They will turn yellow and fall. Yeah, this year has been weird. Hey, Gardener Jaws, you're still here. So I saw you in the live stream last night. Um, I think I'm subscribed to you. I'm gonna take a picture of your name because I don't have a way to write you down. You can't just grab people anymore. Ooh. Well, Robert, that's one of the reasons, too, with our ecosystem and the weather. I decided to go with that geothermal greenhouse. And we're going to do the closed loop system. And the reason I decided to do that was all the ecosystem issues, the weather, and, I could put the ladybugs and lacewings in there and they would stay. You're near Tulsa. Were you at the meetup in Pryor? I see a naturopath in Tulsa, and I have a lot of friends up that way. I met Angela and John from Heirloom Permaculture. I met them at a coffee shop when I went to see my naturopath. They are so sweet, and their daughters. Oh, darn. Yeah, Deb, I kept, like I said, try something new. Well, I was pretty transparent about it. Like, I didn't know what to do. I went to OSU and I took my plants because I was dealing with issues I'd never seen before. And so Oklahoma State University, they took my plants and took it to plant pathology, and they determined that a massive infestation of tomato pinworms that year, and that my ecosystem had to be off to have that big of an infestation of tomato pinworms. I'm going to scooch over, see if that helps, because the sun's changing. There we go. And so they gave me a whole list on the Omri, and I think it was 4 pages of sprays I could do, but they said my ecosystem was way off. Wanted to know if there was anything different that happened to the farm. And I said, well, 2 things. Number one, the property next to us, the oil company had come in, and they weren't supposed to put it in on the property next to us and next to our farm. It was supposed to be way up the road, and they put in a saltwater line, and that saltwater line was exposed, so the big trucks had to come in. Plus, they left a huge mess when they took out all those trees, which destroys the ecosystem. And so they had done all that. They had to clean all that up before May 1st in 2014. They got all that cleaned up, got that salt line reburied, and then in 2014 on May 4th, the wildfire hit, and it just ruined the ecosystem, because then we lost not only all those trees that they had taken out, we lost all the ones way back there behind there. We lost several trees on our farm. So if you go, when I did Facebook, YouTube before, I think it was under W Hardknack, you can go in and see some of the videos I did on the farm before the fire. And I need to go grab those, and because I've had a lot of people ask what the farm was like that are new, like the new people in my life, what the farm looked like before the wildfire. And so I'm going to try to figure out somebody to help me compile all that and do a real nice video. I've had a lot of people request that. And I'm not saying anything. I mean, I've been real transparent about we're trying to restore the farm. I don't like the humidity. If we could just, I think about 75 to 80 degrees is like perfect. Exactly. You have to adapt with things that are different. And that's what I've talked about. Like, you have to make changes because you're not able to grow with the weather. That's why that geothermal greenhouse just, I don't know. I saw the video on YouTube. It was citrus in the snow, and I was, when I was looking for things, how to grow all this food again. And so I was searching some of the YouTube channels because I was just like at a loss as to how to deal with this. And I come across that, and I clicked on it, and I was like, oh wow, like hummingbirds are back. That is so cool. So I showed my husband. He's like, oh no, not something new. Then I showed my brother and sister-in-law that are in South Dakota, and they were like, oh, no, that's cool. And then we got together, and I was like, I think that's the only way I can grow here. And they're like, well, that would be the only way they could extend their growing season in South Dakota, because I think They are in growing zone 4. I'm going to move again because the sun. Let me see. Does that help? There we go. Maybe, maybe not. That better? No. I can't move too far because then I lose the internet. But, oh, coffee is so good. I love it. So we decided to go tour the facility. We yeah. So the citrus in the snow, the people that do the greenhouse know is Nebraska. And so that's actually, we drove through there on the way to visit family in South Dakota. So we all went there, and that's what we went to South Dakota to pick up the greenhouse because we split the kit with them. So we'll have 42 feet. Now, I will probably outgrow that. And, but money wise, because we built a shop, we're trying to build our home. Sorry, the flies are terrible. And so we thought 42 feet will give us a good start. Now, my husband said if I wanted to add on to it, because you can add where that's located, we could add on another 40 feet for the fence, and that will still give plenty of room in the back. And oh goodness, the bugs are terrible. And I could add on, but he goes, you're going to have to earn the money for that. Now, I saved some of my money. I hate bugs, except for good ones. I'm going to do solar for the blower because you still have to, even though that's a green way of growing, you still have to have a blower to run the air through it. I'm gonna have to move. The bees are getting a little too close. Hang on here, guys. I'm so sorry. Wouldn't you know? I would pick a spot that just wasn't good. Hang on here. I'll move back one. I think I can still get internet here. The sun's just coming through there. We lost a lot of the trees. You know, a lot of the branches, I should say. Okay, let's try this again so the sun moves. Not be on comments. I think I've seen brainstorm acres. I'm not 100%. Neat. Hey, Rosework, how are you doing? I'm feeling better now that I'm in here talking to everybody. And I think the conclusion is delete, block, and go. Remove toxic from your life and press on. No explanation needed. If people are going to be nasty, then they just need to know they need to go. Because I know that cliche. The old saying is misery loves company. Well, I'm not miserable, and I'm not going to enjoy that company. God is good. God is amazing. I'm so thankful for him. So everybody get to know each other. If you're not subscribed to each other, subscribe. So we were just talking about some of the gardening and the reasons why we're putting in that geothermal greenhouse. But now, Kathleen, on that, on your blueberries and such, did you start those or have they been there quite a while? Because your blueberry bushes are amazing. Yeah, life's too short. Life's too short to deal with negative, nasty people. But, you know, thankfully, I've only had to delete and blocked 3 people in all the years on Facebook. And so I feel like that's a pretty good thing. I'm gonna have to add one more to that equation, but bye bye. I feel so much better now. See, it's a weight lifted. They will be gone. Exactly, and that's why it felt good to vent. Oh, there's the talk. It really felt good to vent again. Again, my poor husband. He's just to listen to me like whine about the garden and whine about the failures and just like just going, just keep doing what I keep doing. Cause my kids are grown and we're basically retired. I'm not able to work, and so not use this 10 acres to bend and grow good, healthy food. My husband bought this place back in '83, so it's a perfect. It's perfect. Keeps there are bees all over, which I'm enjoying seeing. As long as you don't bother them, they're pretty good. But I got right up in there, and I didn't want one to sting me because I was leaning up against the flower. Okay, so I did talk to Brian. He's not anywhere close to where we go in South Dakota because we are at when we go visit family, they are in the Black Hills, which is up by Mount Rushmore, which Yogi Hollow Farm is up that way. And Lisa, and I watched her video this morning, and then I cut it off, and then I was working on the elderberries, and I was talking to God as usual. But yeah, Brian. So there's just been a group of us that have followed each other from the get go, from our first moments on YouTube. Yeah, he's in Iowa. No, I talked to him, and I was going to meet up with him and his wife, my husband and I. Because my husband actually watches Brian, and he's always asking questions. Because Brian's like us. We like to recycle, repurpose, get trash to treasure, all those things. And I'm as green can get. I try not to throw away one darn thing. If it can be repurposed, it's repurposed. If it can go to a new home where somebody can use it, that's where it goes. It doesn't go in the landfill. And I recycle. I take a lot of stuff to recycling. And all the veggie scraps are composted on the farm. They make soil. We shred our trash, like our mail, except for the shiny paper and the little windows. I cut those out and we shred them, and it makes soil. Yeah, he is in Iowa. You have a very blessed day, Zelda. Thank you so much for coming in. I will come find your channel. Hopefully, I will find it. If not, if you leave a comment on one of my videos, then I can grab you that way, because I know a lot of the times when I go back in and I try to go to a channel, I can't search them again. There's several people that have come into my live streams since I've been doing them, and I can't find their channels. But I've copied, I will try to find you, and I will go to your YouTube and all that. So, I mean, I will go to your YouTube, but I will go to um, your Facebook and all that, and then I'll share that with my friend, because she's suffering from that. That's the best way we can stay connected, because they make it so hard. But you're covered in prayers. I mean, I know what my friend's going through. It's hard to deal with an injury or an illness. It can really weigh down. Trust me. But it's through God's grace and lots of prayers, I just get up when I can and I just press on. Thank you so much. Yeah, I probably should get off of here. It's we have a tremendous amount of work to do, and I think we're going to work some more on the greenhouse. I'm really behind on going to town and uploading videos. I have a video ready on the elderberries, and then another video on the farm auction. Then I have another video of what we got at the farm auction and why I got the stuff I did, and then I will do a garden update and get that uploaded this week because we do run to town and we have a business that lets me come in there and I can upload like 4 to 5 videos within 30 minutes. It's fast. But thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for letting me cry on your shoulders. Thank you for the loving support. Thank you for all of it. And God bless all of you and keep safe and keep gardening, keep growing, and we'll all stay connected. And anybody want to holler at me on the phone, you can. I do have bad cell service, but eventually I try to get back with text and stuff like that. Shoot me an email and I will text, talk, but I get people when I get a break. Yes, everybody have a blessed day. Hey, Rosework, you take care. Sorry, I gotta run, but I better get busy. But this is what I needed. Hey, you guys have a very blessed day. All of you. Take care. Bye bye.